Welcome back to the warm-up with Jot and Ben. Continuing our season outlook, we are with the Oklahoma City Thunder. But before we get into it, please like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you never miss an episode of the warm-up. And we have our new social media feeds in the description below for Instagram and Twitter as well. So the defending champs, Oklahoma City Thunder, they didn't do much this offseason, but they didn't need to. A team that won the finals, and all year you heard, oh, are they going to do it? Are they too young? A team that had finals and championship written all over it, but no one believed it till it actually happened. So, yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and just pull up the roster for the fun of it. There's not really much to discuss here, just for anybody that's unaware. You have SGA, Lou Dort, Caruso, Hartenstein, Holmgren, Jalen Williams. Then you got your bench guys, Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, Kenrich, Casey Wallace. Nikola Topic will be exciting. Interested to see what happens with him.
He had ball surgery, though.
Yeah, he did. Very, very interesting surgery. So we'll see if he's going to be okay. But just kind of, just to really just take a moment to, congratulate the Thunder on a job well done and, just kind of recognize the season that they had. It's a great championship for sure. It's dominance in the Western Conference that we haven't seen in a really long time.
Yeah.
Just their ability to win that many games and then go through the playoffs. Practically untouched outside of Denver. Swept the Grizzlies. Timberwolves took them to, I believe it was 5. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Indiana. Yeah, then Indiana took them to 7. But, in the Western Conference, they just flew right by other than Denver. So that was very impressive. Looking at them this season, I don't see any reason why this wouldn't be your pick out of the Western Conference. I'm going to say confidently that this is going to be my pick to come out of the West this season. I don't think they'll win the championship. So whenever you get to the Eastern Conference, I'll reveal who I think my champion will be this season.
Interesting.
So I'm gonna take it a different spin this year. But looking at OKC, a lot to be excited for. Got the same group coming back. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. This team won 68 games last year. Had the highest win margins in NBA history. Team, like I said, they didn't need to do anything in the offseason. I think they're just going to be better having that championship DNA. They won 68 games. We always talk about the West is the hardest conference and all that, but this is a team that won 68 games in the West. They were without Chet Holmgren for 45, 50 games last year, and they still won the championship. There's no reason to believe this team probably could maybe even win 70 games this year. They're just going to be better, but naturally they might keep their foot off the gas. But with Jada being out the first couple weeks with that wrist injury, which he took 28 injections on throughout the playoff run last year, he'll be missed for sure in the first couple of weeks, but they shouldn't miss a beat. They're so deep. I
think the beauty of this team is they're going to get a whole season full of Chet Holmgren.
Yeah.
They didn't get that last season, so I'm excited to see them come out fresh with Chet. Hopefully he stays healthy. Obviously you got the wrist for J-Dub, but when he comes back, I don't think he's going to miss a beat.
Yeah.
Lou Dort, who I know a lot of NBA fans don't really like, kind of think he's a dirty player, but all that aside, I mean, he's one of the best defenders in basketball, and he has proven that he is, one of the best dispositioned, and he was very key in OKC's championship run. Just from a pure SGA perspective, we're looking at a top 3 player in basketball. You could argue should be number 1 right now based on the fact that he was, won basically every award in the NBA last year: MVP, Finals MVP, All-Star appearance, first team All-NBA. It takes a lot to get all those accomplishments, especially on this Thunder team, which is just an incredible team, man. Also bringing in Caruso, as you're seeing right now, as they're celebrating the banner. I mean, Caruso was a big part of their success too, because when they upgraded from Josh Giddey, that allowed them to basically unload a completely new look on defense because, they can basically go, all 5 guys can
Yeah.
guard at every position basically. So,
Right.
you know, there's a lot of upside for them defensively, and that's why they were so good. Obviously, they put up a lot of numbers on offense, but most of their points came off the defensive end. They turned defense into offense, and that's what made them so lethal.
Yeah.
What is your expectation for where they finish in the West this year? I'm assuming nowhere under 2 or 3.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I think they're just going to run away with the 1 seed again. I think they're just too deep. I am curious to see if there's some internal growth still, because they are still so young. Like, these players are still going to get better. I would challenge, as good as SGA is, I think he could still improve as a playmaker. We saw in the finals, he didn't have the best playmaking games out there, but when he did play make, I think they were 10-0. When he had 8 assists or more. I think Chet, him having a full season to play instead of breaking his tibia in the middle of it is going to be huge for them. Yeah, I mean, this is just a team that is going to get better because you always get better after you win a championship, and it's going to be a team to be reckoned with. They're too young on a night-to-night basis not to have them as at least a top 2 seed in the West.
Yeah. I think, I agree. They're going to run away with it. Bobby Marks said on ESPN he thinks they're going to win 70 games. To be honest with you, I'm not even going to disagree with that. I think that could most definitely happen. I think the key for this team, like any championship team, is going to be the talent in the West. You're going to have a lot of teams that are going to want to take you out. I'll name a few. Denver, Houston, Dallas when healthy. Mm-hmm. These are 3 teams in my mind. I'm going to put San Antonio in that conversation too. These are 4 teams in my mind that when I look at this from a pure matchup perspective, could cause problems because they have the personnel in order to do so. You look at Denver, they've got Jokic and a very big complement of role players. Houston just brought in KD. They have a lot of young potential talent that can play well on the defensive end. San Antonio, we went over them, has a really young roster with a lot of defensive talent. Carter Bryant, Dylan Harper, Victor Wembanyama. You also have De'Aaron Fox. And then Dallas with Cooper Flagg. You got the big 3, Derek Lively, Gafford, and Anthony Davis. And when healthy, you're going to have Kyrie Irving as well. So those are the 4 teams in my mind that, when I look at it, like I said, from a pure matchups perspective, they're going to cause a lot of problems. So I'm very interested to see, what that looks like in the regular season. Will they win those big matchups? Will they win those big games? Because if they do, and they do the same thing they did last year, they're going to have no issues, and they're going to go right through the West again in the schedule. But I think looking at it this team in the playoffs, I think they could easily come out of the West once again. It's going to come down to, I think we talked about this with almost every team so far that's contending. It's going to come down to health. You got to stay healthy in order to win in this league. If they can do that, they're going to be fine. And it's going to come down to winning those pivotal matchups in the regular season, because if you get beat by some of those 4 teams I just mentioned multiple times in the regular season, when playoff time comes, they're going to have your number. And when you're a defending champion, there's a target on your back. So you got to be prepared for those consequences. So that's going to be big for them to win those big matchups against those big top West opponents.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And for Shai, I think Shai is still young enough to take another leap. We've seen him do the leading the league in scoring. Let's see you up that assist number, right? Let's see Chet try to win DPOY, even though I think it's Wemby's to lose every year, right? You still have these young guys like Aaron Wiggins, the Isaiah Joes of the world, Cason Wallace, who I think will eventually end up starting for them in a couple of years once their financial situation gets a little murky and they got to trade Dort or something like that. They have all this talent that, man, it's so hard to pick against them. I mean, I did, because I'm a big believer in Jokic, but I mean, if they came out the West, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I won't discount it. I think that Denver has a very real shot of trying to dethrone them. We've also brought this up. It's very hard to repeat in the NBA, which is why I'm not repicking them as my champion. but I do think they can easily make a run like that again. Denver does have a shot at beating them. I think Houston, if they figure out the point guard position, could have a chance. I think if Dallas met them in the playoffs, that would be an absolutely amazing matchup. Anytime those two face off in the playoffs, I mean, it's cinema. Yeah. I also think, if San Antonio is able to get into the play-in / a 7-8 seed, that could be a team you play in the first round, which is like, oh, shoot, Victor Wembanyama versus Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in the first round. That's not something you want to deal with. So that's why I put them in that conversation. But I'm confident in this team. They're going to be good. They just got to stay healthy. They've got a great coach, great organization, top 3 player in basketball and SGA. They're going to be fine.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I got nothing to add, man. This team's going to be amazing. Yeah, I just can't wait to watch them again. They're really fun to watch. OKC's home crowd is amazing. They have that new stadium being built. It's going to be ready in like 2030. A lot of excitement to be excited about. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. All right. Well, that concludes our season outlook for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Please like, comment, and subscribe on the video. And then in the description, we have our Twitter and Instagram feeds as well. So until next time, see ya and stay safe.